Okay, this is Popourri Part 1. Um, and basically, we have two parts here. One is gender differences, and it's gender differences in learned patterns of behavior. We think they're learned or not genetic. And another thing about gender differences about behaviors, male traits seem to be more positive than female traits. You know, male can be assertive, women can be bitchy. I guess I shouldn't use that words, but you know what I'm talking about. Um, the book talks about aggression being the only positive. The only genetic inherited trait. But there's some tribes where the men stay at home and do art, take care of the kids. Women hunt like the lion pride. So I don't know if it's that. Um, but there's four that I want you to know. Um, uh, that females are better at verbal ability. Females read more, better grammars, use better language, have better diction, so forth and so forth, yada, yada, yada. Um, Males are better at math and science because they're pushed into it or reinforce it. I mention that the woman who just won the Nobel Prize for chemistry was told by her advisor and that since she's a woman, she shouldn't go into science. Yeah, she showed him. But females have like three times more math anxiety than males do. So math and science tend to be lean towards the male. Um, Aggression, again, we talked about that, tends to male. And then the last one is spatial visual, which tends to be favored by the male. Males play more sports, play more video games. Women are playing sports now and video games, so that difference is compressing. But I always go to, and I probably get in my big trouble here, but I always go to parallel parking, for example. Um, Men are treated differently in the classroom. They're asked more questions, they're given more attention, they're punished less, and they're reinforced more. So it's not equal. The other second thing chapter was on Vygotsky. Vygotsky was Russian, and he is really famous now, even though he died in 1934 because they're letting his stuff out. Um, Outcome-based education was credited to him. Performance-based evaluation, i.e., portfolios, were credited to him. Cooperative learning, credit to him. Peer teaching, a credit to him. So those of you in education, you know him quite well. There's four things I want you to know about him. One, the importance of culture. One, because he believes that you teach in the culture that this kid is in. And so if you're in Montana, you're not talking about skyscrapers. And the importance of language. Um, you think in a language, therefore you should, according to Vygotsky, if you want to make somebody smarter, you need to increase their language. So he believes in using language, even if you're teaching art or music or PE, try to use a lot of writing, as much language as possible. His idea of zone, approximate development, is one of the most famous for, which is a great idea. If you teach below the zone, it's too easy and kids lose their attention. If you too high on the zone, it is too hard and they give up. So you just teach the zone. And the zone is what a student can learn with a little bit of help from teachers. The problem is, even though it's great on paper, it makes a lot of sense. If you're in high school, you got 150, 135 to 150 zones. Ooh, good luck on that. And the final thing is scaffolding. He's famous for that. He believes that you should make sure a kid in school will guarantee 100% success. And as the kid gets better and better, you pull away all the scaffolds, all the help, so he or she can do it on their own. And the next thing is we talked about observational learning. You observe a model and learn things. Animals do it all the time. Uh, we have one dog that when it wants attention, it paws at you. We got a puppy. He never did that. Well, she never did it, I should say. And then now she does it, modeling after the Sapphira. So what we have is what we call social learning, and that is acquisition of learning of behavior patterns which society expects. And the school is the greatest transmitter of this. So it varies from culture to culture. In Peru, they eat guinea pigs. We pet them. Things like that. It varies from people within a culture. People in the South are different from the people in the Midwest, and so forth and so on. And then in media situations, you don't act the same way at a football game or party as you do in church. So that determines social learning. There are two types of models. Um, One is a symbolic model, and that's not a real life thing. That's a movie, a book, a song, a cartoon, whatever. And then exemplary model is a real life person, like a teacher, parent. Exemplary is a stronger, obviously. But symbolic models. You can read an article about somebody who's been having the same problems you do and been successful, and you model after them. Um, we have direct reinforcement for the model, and then we have vicarious reinforcement for a model. And vicarious is now we have vicarious reinforcement and we have vicarious influences. Don't confuse the two. Vicarious reinforcement is you watch a model getting reinforced and you feel reinforced too. So if your brother or sister does something fantastic, you feel good because you're related to them. For your fraternity sorority does something, even though you didn't do it, you feel bought because you're part of that. When Florida wins, but they didn't do this weekend, I feel happy even though I didn't play. So that's vicarious reinforcement. It is when the model gets you watch a model get reinforced and you feel good about it also. Okay, we'll stop here.